Talk Show, a talk show where we bring together community leaders and inspirational people that are making a difference in the world. I am Sandy Spady, your host, and I welcome my amazing guest, Nicole Parker. Hello, welcome to Power Up Talk Show.
So excited to be here.
I'm so excited. Okay, Missy, tell the world who you are. Introduce yourself. What do y'all do? You do from personal to professional too. Okay. You do a lot.
My name is Nicole Parker. I've spent the better half of 15 years in IT consulting, sales, raising a young adult named Caleb, who just turned 20 in November. Hard to believe. Caleb is my special kiddo, was born very early, has cerebral palsy and epilepsy, and rides around and rocks a power wheelchair. So that's kind of my story.
Wow.
And where I'm launching.
Let's talk a little bit about being a wonderful mother with a child. Now he's 20, he's growing up, right? Of all those years of having to really, step up and you don't ask for that, but you have been a wonderful parent to your son. I know you so well. How do you share with the audience a little bit about overcoming, when you heard the news, how you dealt with it with, being a mother, being a professional, and putting all that together? Because I know there's moms out there that have had challenges like that, or maybe they just found out. Share a little bit about that superpower strength of yours.
Well, thank you. I was 29 when I had Caleb. He came 3 months premature, and as a result of that, we saw some things happening before we even left the NICU. And I was lucky enough to use that experience as my reinvention of myself. Caleb is my purpose. He is my why. He is why I work so hard every day in this community to spread awareness, but also be the best that I can be to provide the best life for him. There are a couple of different forks in the road for people like me when you have a child that has special needs. And I chose the route of empowerment. It empowered me to be a better person. I've learned so much from Caleb. The other fork in the road is you could use his disabilities as your crutch and woe is me, but I didn't want to do that. I was raised in a family. I have a disabled uncle. And so my grandmother taught us early on that we're accepting, we're going to move forward, and this is going to empower us to be better people.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Empowerment versus a crutch. That's very powerful. How do you share a little bit about professionally, right? You're busy, you've been, professionally, you're very successful at what you do, and now you're reinventing, right? And pivoting to your next adventure there. How do you manage everything? How do you manage being, a mother with an young adult, special, cares, child, and then pivoting with your career? How do you manage that roadmap?
Great question. So those that know me know that I function well under chaos. So 1,000 balls in the air and trying to determine which has priority and moving forward. But also I think that provides some stability. And I know that sounds so awkward and weird. But having a professional career, which is empowered by Caleb's disabilities and the things that he needs support on, has made me become more positive about the situation and has given me drive and purpose. So knowing that Caleb has these challenges and we need to have a home that's accessible, I need to have a transportation for him, all those things cost money. So my professional life has really been the impetus of Caleb's life, and making sure that I can provide for him as a single mom, and knowing that if I do well, then that provides a successful life for Caleb.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, you're very successful and you're starting this new adventure. Tell us how you start your adventure. You decided, okay, I'm going to, just start over and pivot. Tell a little bit about the audience exactly, your experience of your professional world, because you're very successful. And anyone that's met Nicole, they know she's a powerhouse. Share a little bit with the audience exactly professionally where you want to see yourself.
So the last 6 months of 2025 were really hard for me.
Yeah.
I lost my mom after a 2-week diagnosis of cancer in June. In October, my position was eliminated from a company that it was my second time back. And moving into the end of the year, right, without a full-time job and was approached in the startup community to look at sales consulting for these groups. So you have the startup community in Omaha, which is huge.
Huge.
We have a lot of great people with a lot of great ideas. One of the things that's lacking is they have a great idea, but they don't know how to go to market. They don't know how to make $1 off of their idea or turn their users into something that's producing revenue. So my consulting business will be the avenue and fill that gap for the startup community here.
You know what I love is so often God closes a door, and at the time we're like, this sucks. This is not fun. But it's always amazing how he opens up another door. Because when I see you sitting here right now, I see nothing but a woman on fire to start her next career and to share all the years' experience you have. And it's called seasoned. We're seasoned right here, right? We have things to share with others that they are going to pay for because we want to help others. Because along that road, right, we had people help us. Speaking of that, as you look back at your career, do you have any mentors that jump out to you that really made a difference, that saw in you at the time you needed something to be seen?
I do, and they're still mentors. Yeah. I would probably say 5 close mentors in different seasons of my life that have still maintained those relationships because they've been so impactful in the decisions that I made moving forward. If I'm going to take a new job with a new company, making sure that I'm looking at all the, all the things that could go great or that could go wrong, and just to have a clear mind about it. So the mentors in my life have been extremely important to getting me to where I'm at. Also, some of them we have a personal and a professional relationship, so they know about Caleb. Most of them know about Caleb, and that those decisions that we're making together or they're kind of consulting me on has shaped who I am now. And raising a kiddo like Caleb has literally made me understand the importance of helping others in our community, because what I'm going through, there's so many, this community for special needs kiddos is very small in Omaha. A lot of us know each other. We have great bonds outside of that as well, and we can be resources for each other. So I try to be the best resource, like my mentors have been for me, to others during their journey, whether it's professionally or personally.
That's absolutely right. And it's not something, obviously your son, Caleb, is something you have to bring. People have to know that that's such an important part of your life. Right. And you're right. My daughter has type 1 diabetes, and I know when she was first diagnosed and when she was in 8th grade, I had someone call me and reach out to me and say, your new normal will be normal. Just give it a chance. Right. And I dropped the phone. I was like, tears. I'm like, I needed that. I love that you reach out to the community with that small community, a special need, young children, young adults, and you're bringing that around too. You be sitting here right now and sharing this is helping someone in the audience, and that's what I think is so wonderful.
So. Thank you.
Yes. As far as, what do you want to do next, Nicole? Like, I know we have things coming we can't release, but what do you want? What do you see? What do you want to do? What's your next?
It's really the next season of life for me, is helping others in a capacity using my sales experience from the past 20 years and helping other businesses grow in the way that they want to grow.
And what's your ideal customer that you're looking for?
There's a couple.
Okay, I love it.
So in the startup space, so any company that has any individual or company, and they could be 2 guys and 2 gals, have an idea and they want to see if it has legs, if it can be something that's offered into a, go-to-market strategy, and really help them formulate, like, what's your story? Why did you do this? Mm-hmm. I'm not a salesperson, I'm a storyteller.
Yeah, me too.
So I want to listen to their stories. I want to know the why behind why they created something, because there's always a powerful story behind that. But what happens when they get to a stage where, like, well, we need to go get funding. We need to go ask for money so that we can, do this idea that we have. That takes a lot, because you can't just get in front of investors and ask for money if you haven't shown them a way to make $1 yet. So that's an ideal customer. And then also in the tech space, where I've come from I spent many years, I would love to help other managed service providers here locally to grow their business in the way that they want to. So,
would that be growing their business with an app, like creating like an app on their phone for their business? You know, so many amazing people are doing apps. Like how would you do that? What do you suggest? Or is there different avenues of that?
There's different avenues of that because the app has to be, it has to be imperative into their business, to their business model, the way that they do business, their processes. So the app is not always the right answer, but maybe software is. So custom software development to formulate a product that is going to change the lives of whoever you're targeting.
You know what I love what you said is the power of the story. I was in sales my entire life, 100% commission. I never sold a thing, right? You're listening to their passion and their goals, and then what do you want to do with it?
Right.
You know, all those avenues that you and I take for granted. A lot of these younger professionals, or they could be older, but they have such a passion, especially the tech, right? They have such a passion, but it's like the people. I know I spoke at the conference, UNO Entrepreneurship Conference, and I loved it because they have these great products, these great passions. They're so passionate about what they have, but they can't talk to people. Right? But you're the same way. Like they have all these desires and dreams of taking what they've worked on, but now they need the tools, right, for you to help them get there.
Right. It's uncovering their passion and their why, right? Yes. So you have these really smart folks in town that have created these amazing apps or amazing technology solution or an actual product. And there's a story behind that. And that's what sells their product, right? It's the story that you have to get out of them. You have to teach them to become really good storytellers because that will help them sell their product in the long run.
So true. Storytelling tells everything, right? Let's talk about you give. I know you give to your son, you give the community, you're giving now to a new entrepreneurship consulting job. How do you know when to push back and relax and to keep going? Or do you even ever really stop going? I have a feeling I know that answer.
Yeah, I think you do. So I don't stop.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe that's my talent. Maybe that's my secret sauce.
Yeah.
But knowing the back end of that could be detrimental to my mental health. Yeah. So I have a part-time job bartending for fun. I do it for fun. It gets me out of my comfort zone and into a different environment, meet other people. But by being busy and helping others, it fills my bucket. So it's hard to relax and step back and just say, okay, I need some time. I'm not going to help somebody today, or I'm not going to do this specifically today, because it makes me feel like I'm losing momentum. Yeah. And I don't ever want to feel like I'm losing momentum because I feel like I have a lot to give. And especially this community is so amazing. Omaha has been so good to us. We moved here from Lincoln about 13 years ago. And schools have been great for Caleb. And this community has embraced his uniqueness. Yeah. And I love that. So I don't want to stop, and I want to continue with momentum.
I love that you bartend part-time. Yes. I think that is so much fun because you check out. You check out, you're going to meet wonderful people. And it's like out of your realm environment, but that's your burnout. Like you get tired, I'm going to go bartend and like be around people that make me happy. Right. And, sometimes they have worse problems than me and I feel really good, right? Yeah. I love that.
It's also at a concert venue. So I love music. Yeah. Music has been instrumental in my life, my entire life. Played instruments growing up, was in the band, and reluctantly was in the band, but I loved it. But the music part of it is what is so amazing because I get to listen to this live music, get to give people drinks, make them happy, and make some money doing it.
I love that. I love music too. Yeah, that's why I have all my guests dance. I know it drives you crazy. But music really feels a memory. It feels an emotion. It brings you back. And I love that you're finding your happiness with your music, with bartending, and checking out. What do you have planned for 2026? Like, what's the one thing you're getting ready to launch something that's a secret? I might have to have you back on the show. But how do you yourself, how do you put that in, how do you start it? So many entrepreneurs have a back burner dream, right? But they're like, I don't know where to begin. How do you put that all in, how do you begin? How do you begin that?
So you asked a question earlier about mentors.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was reaching out to my mentor network to say, guys, I have this idea. They're all guys right now. I have this idea. What do you think? And then moving that into potential partnerships. So that's how I'm building my business, is with partnerships. So reached out to some potential partners within the last few months to say, hey, this is an idea, I'm thinking about it. And most of them, all of them right now, have said, this is awesome. We need this in Omaha. We need this in the startup community. And how can we help you get there? So yes, starting my own consulting business here very shortly, if it's not already started. More to come, I promise. And just leaning on the folks who have done it, who have gone down the path, and who have a lot of experience to share and are willing to help you and support you. And I think that's really important, finding those folks. So mentorship is extremely important to me, because those guys are the ones that are really the backbone of me launching into something new.
Being a cheerleader. That's so true. The power of asking, the power of collaboration, the power of partnerships. But it all comes down to asking. And then taking those leads and building collaborations. I love when I hear people start something. You know, founder of Women with Voices, I have seen the power of empowering a community through women, because then they meet each other and then you start these collaborations. Businesses, they public speak, and I know you're a great speaker too. Alrighty, what can you share with the world as far as when you want to start your business, how are you going to reach you? What are we going to find you? How are we going to do it? Like, how do we find you?
How do you find me?
Let's
Find me on LinkedIn,
yes. Yeah.
right? The startup community has a couple of events every week. So I'm usually at 1 Million Cups on Wednesdays down at Millwork Commons. Love that energy in that room when folks are presenting, and then the group that stays after and just chats. So those are really the two places right now.
And I think that's when I ran into you, was at Millwork Commons after 1 Million Cups, and we connected, and I'm like, let's get you on the talk show. So you showing up, right? You never know when you show up for different things, how those opportunities will happen.
And I think that we have so many opportunities for networking that people find it hard to find the right one for you. And so my advice is go out and try them. And find your tribes, find your folks that go to those networking groups that you can connect with, and you can like legitimately connect with them. It's not just giving each other's business cards to each other, because it's much more than that. Omaha demands that, I think, in my opinion, is that when we're in networking groups, we're intentional about networking and being extremely intentional and honest, and just showing up and being there.
Just showing up and being there. I love that. Actually, one of my keynotes are networking. Tell the audience a little bit about some more networking that you've done in the past and that you plan to do in the future that have really been good for you. Besides 1 Million Cups, we all love Glenn from 1 Million Cups. Shout out to Glenn.
I love Glenn.
Yes.
So some networking groups that I'm involved in, because I was in the tech space. There's a few tech groups. Women of the Heartland in the tech. Women in Technology of the Heartland. It's called WITH.
Yeah.
They actually meet tomorrow. There is Omaha IT Council, which is a group of IT folks in Omaha in that profession, both on the vendor side and also the client side. So if you're an IT professional at Omaha, Mutual of Omaha, you can attend the events, and then the vendors that are part of that group pay the tab for that event. They meet once a month, excuse me. And other networking groups. So I have a friend who just started a networking brand called Kopla. She's showcased four different brands under the networking umbrella. So she has a business purpose leader business. She has owners, entrepreneurs. She has AI and technology. And then she has a fourth one that I can never remember.
Nice. That sounds
but those
fun.
meet like every week for each month, depending on the industry that it's supporting. And then there's a bunch of user groups in the tech space that all have networking opportunities. I'm involved with AI Omaha, and we have networking opportunities once a month. And they usually bring in speakers and have presentations, and you get to learn a lot about that space. So there's many different entry points from the AI Omaha group, because you have people who are developing it, designing it. You have folks that are using it. You have just regular folks that may be in another position, but use AI in their position or have created a product that they want to tell folks about. And so it's again, finding the industry where you want to be, who do you want to sell to, right? Some folks, some of my friends are really good at selling into the nonprofit space. So they're partnered with the nonprofits that they work with or want to work with. And so that's also been very effective as well.
Those sounds like some really good groups I might have to check out. I love that. Yeah. So when you have so much going on with your energy, right? You have a lot going on, you're high energy. How do you ever push back and just tell yourself, besides bartending, you know, and give that one-on-one time with your son? I'm sure you do a lot of that. But how can you let the audience know, as far as if they're out there right now, single mom, trying to work, has a disabled, you know, a child, what advice can you give them on how you put everything together? Because maybe not everyone's high voltage like we are, but what advice can you give them to find their own, you know, find their own peace from their energy, from things that are sucking out in the world, from everything that they do?
That's a great question. So I think you have to find the thing that fills your bucket.
Yeah.
For me, I love reading. I'm a book nerd.
Nice.
I love reading. And it's finding things that will eventually give you the energy back after your day's over, right? So if you're raising a child that has extra abilities and you also are working, a lot of times those families don't have work. They'll have one working parent, but they don't necessarily have two working parents. Or sometimes the parent, I know two here in town who started their own agencies because their care for their sons is full-time. So they get paid through the state to take care of their child, but they still need an outlet. So if it's find a workout partner, find something, if you want to go walk around Lake Zarinsky, or you want to get outside, even though it's brutally cold right now, but finding that whatever is going to give you energy back, because having a packed life, and thank goodness I have high voltage, because I don't know how I would have done this without that type of energy. Yeah. Because it's depleting, and it's sometimes at the end of the day, you just don't know how you're going to wake up and start again, right? Yeah. And so I always say, this is just a season of life. You have to figure out how you fit into it, and then start small. Don't try to take big leaps. Don't try to change the world in one day. I mean, that takes time. And, you know, take small steps and take the next step. Don't be afraid to do that, because so many folks, whether or not they're raising a child like Caleb, they are having trouble, number one, asking, what you said earlier. They're having trouble asking, but they're also having trouble with momentum. They're having trouble with drive. And so you got to figure out what makes you drive. Where's the fire inside of you, and what lights that fire? For me, thank goodness I had a child like Caleb at 29, because I don't know when I would have found it. Yeah. So I'm definitely the exception to the rule, but finding that what fills your bucket.
You have to find what fills your bucket. And I love that you said books, because for 2026, I want to slow down and read more books, right? What's a go-to book for you?
Oh, gosh.
Or an author, or a theme, or...
I'm a big Simon Sinek fan.
Okay.
In the business space.
Yep.
I tend to read, I'm such a nerd.
You can be a nerd. I'm nerdy too.
I tend to read nonfiction or business books. Yeah. I love learning things. I'm a lifelong learner. Yeah. And I worked at Barnes & Noble in high school and in college on purpose.
Love it.
Because that, again, it's just like bartending. Filled my bucket, only making $8 an hour, but it didn't matter because I was around all the books.
Yes.
And I don't know, I guess for summer reading, if we're sitting by the pool, I'll pull out a fiction book.
Fiction, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. I like really the go-to too, like the self-help and I love learning too, right? You know, Zig Ziglar. I grew up with my father that was in sales, and Zig Ziglar, right?
Zig.
Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, if you could, right, have a superpower strength, what would it be, right, and why? I just threw this on you because I've superpower.
No, I love that question. This is what I think about all the time. So our community is not built for people in wheelchairs. If I had a superpower where I could do anything, it would be to make this community more accessible. We've done a lot. There's still a lot more that we can do, but I would love to make it accessible. Caleb and I's motto is we're changing the world. And it looks differently right now because he's 20 and there's just different things. Like if we go to a restaurant, I have to think about what a bathroom situation looks like. Or how we get into the restaurant. We like to go to the Omaha places And if it's in the old market, I usually have to call ahead to make sure that it's accessible for him to get in, even though it's supposed to be accessible. Sometimes they're not. And so I would just love to make this community more accessible. And we know lots of folks in chairs or use walkers or have, elderly too. It's not just kiddos. I know that there was several architecture firms in town that were a few years ago focused on getting bathrooms to have like a changing table, because you have elderly folks that maybe need to take a break from walking from their table to the restroom.
So true.
And then making our wheelchair, our accessible bathroom stalls actually accessible. So there's some that don't fit a power chair like Caleb.
And you can't keep the door open and do the wheelchair at the same. I've helped people. That's why it's called a vision. Yeah, I love that superpower, and I think, you know what, Nicole, I think you're the person to do it. I think your passion and your purpose of what you want to do with changing the world, from IT to young entrepreneurs to changes in our Omaha community, I think you're going to do it. And I'm just so proud that you're here. I just think you're so amazing. I can't wait to watch you grow, to just fly out the door where you're meant to do. Because you know what? God's given you this time to really shine. And I'm just really proud of you.
Thank you.
Just love it. Okay. How can they find you in the world, right? LinkedIn. And 1 million cups. Let's just come 1 million cups. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. You get to see people and you get energized by the talks. Well, thank you for being on my show. Oh my gosh. All right. World, let's just go make a difference in the world. Let's be nice to people that need help. Let's envision. Let's give the pause for people that just need someone to listen to, right? Just do anything that helps others, because when we bring it together and kindness helps, nothing can stop us. So thank you. Have a great day.